right, so here's the thing. After that first fast in high school, after that first high, oh my God, this instant dramatic amount of weight loss, I have to keep going. I think I got down to about 175, and I coasted there for a while. Hey guys, hey friend, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tisha Renee, and let's continue talking about this topic of fasting as I share my weight loss journey with you. So if you can recall from the last video, the first time I did a fast, I was 16, which for me was my freshman year in high school. And that is when I lost a dramatic amount of weight, drastically. And so most of the time through high school, all the way up to about my senior year, I was at 250, as you remember, from age 15. Here I am 16, and I was starting to shave it down. And I can remember, because I didn't take my weight that often, that's why I can't really give you guys numbers like that. But I can remember when I used to have like PE, and I would like ever so, often step into the scale, I would see that I was kind of at 175, 180 for a long time. Like most of high school, I was there. It fluctuate a little bit, go down, fluctuate a little bit. And so how did I stay at that size? How did I stay at that number? What happened was, after that first fast, I got so hooked onto it that the obsession for weight loss and the obsession with food and all these things just kicked into high gear. And hear what I'm saying. It's the opposite of what I wanted to happen. My ideal situation was I would lose weight and start eating better and have a better relationship with food. But actually what happened was I was so addicted to the weight loss that I was willing to lose it at any cost. I didn't care about what I ate as long as I just lost weight. So what I started to do is that 21-day juice fast, if you want to call it, I was always striving to get back to that. I was always striving to, maybe I should do it again type thing. I don't remember doing it again in high school, if I'm being honest, but I do remember that at this point I was still vegetarian. And so all through high school, I was vegetarian. I didn't eat meat since I was 15. But I ate like eggs and cheese and things like that. But I was still eating a lot of packaged, processed food. I was vegetarian. Sneak in some fresh fruits and vegetables in there every now and then. But I'm in high school, hot Cheetos galore. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the healthiest food still. But I started to notice something, especially in high school, as the pressures kind of got to me as being a teenager and, having a boyfriend at the time, or whatever the struggle was at the time in high school. It's so funny how in high school we think everything is so serious and it's so important. I mean, I guess it is for us at that age, but I look back and I'm like, some of the things I was stressing over in high school, like really, I don't know, side thought. But anyway, I remember every year, when I was in high school, I remember every year, New Year's Eve, I would promise myself that I would eat better. I would promise myself that I would start, another diet. High school was full of, it started with the fast. Again, like I said, I don't remember ever going on another long, extensive fast like that in high school, but I never stopped dieting or trying to manipulate my food in a way that I would lose weight, predominantly. Not even caring about my health, just I need to lose weight. I need to continue to lose weight. I was at 175. I was no longer obese. I was just a little thick, I was always thick, whatever people call it, in high school, but my sophomore year started to slim down a little bit, and then junior year started to slim down a little bit more. So it was a gradual slimming down. But if I'm being honest, I can't remember what I did. It wasn't a long, extensive fast again, but I was always trying to manipulate my food or manipulate my body in some form of fashion. I guess what I'm trying to say is I had times where I struggled with food. I didn't know what to do, and I was still learning about nutrition. I had all this information that I learned about being vegan and all of these things, but I still wasn't fully applying it, even with vegetarian. I wasn't eating the best food. I wasn't eating fresh fruits and vegetables, whole foods, whole grains, all these things. I was literally sustaining myself off of school lunches, hot Cheetos. I think at some point in high school, hot Cheetos was a food group for me. And, you know, my mom's cooking, whatever she cooked. My mom was a phenomenal cook. Here was the issue. The issue was I started to restrict. I started to put myself on this never-ending diet of, okay, next week I'll do better. Next week I'll do better. Okay, no more of this, no more of that. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. And then I used to remember I would come home from school and we used to have like a lot of snacks in our house. And I would just go crazy. I would just go crazy. After school, it was just like snack attack central. And there was times I just couldn't stop eating. I was just like, I can't stop eating. Like I'm just continuously eating. It was like a bottomless pit. Not realizing that the first time that I ever did that fast, that was a form of restriction. I didn't nourish my body properly afterwards with whole foods. My body was essentially starving for nutrients. And so, if I can recall, shortly after that fast, I think I transitioned back to eating food in like a healthier way. I think I started back with like soup or something, whatever, the guidance of my mother to help me. She helped me, you know, get back to eating solid foods. After 21 days of fasting, you can't just go back and eat cheeseburger. You'll probably die. Most likely you would. So you have to gradually get back to eating solid foods, whether it be like starting with soup and then like raw salad, whatever it was, whatever the protocol was at that time, I stuck to that. But shortly after, I got back to my junk. And I realized that my body was, after I lost this dramatic amount of weight so quickly, my body was craving any calories it could get. And what has the highest amount of calories? Junk food. And so after school, that's what I would go crazy on. Or at school, I just found myself feeling like a bottomless pit. I'm like, why do I have this insatiable appetite to eat so much food? And I'm eating a lot of empty calories. And so my weight would go up and down, up and down, up and down, but I would always land at about 175. That's where I ended up staying for the most of high school, about 175, into the better year of my early years in college. But I just wanted to bring you guys back to that first fast. I wanted to paint a more vivid picture so that you can understand what I went through when I did that fast and how my intentions drove me to continue on dieting, obsessing over my weight, and now having an even more unhealthy relationship with food because of my habits. It first started with the trauma, right? And now it's perpetuating it with just habits. After school, you go home, eating chips, eating Pop-Tarts, Skittles, whatever it was. And I'm like, deep down inside, I'm like, something's wrong with me. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to eat better. Why can't I? And so that's what mainly happened during most of high school. And I would diet, I lose a little bit of weight. I was active somewhat. You know, you had PE in school and all these things. So that's how I was able to kind of stay around 175. But the fluctuations were still there. Don't get me wrong. So that's the point I was trying to make, is I wanted to really paint that vivid picture of how dangerous it was, that first fast that I did when I was in high school, and the habits that it started in me of basically binge eating. And so that's what I want to talk to you about next week. And I have a request. I just pray that you all be gentle with me in these next couple of videos, all of these videos. But please be gentle with me in this next couple of videos. These are things that maybe I can count on one hand people actually know about me and things I've struggled with in silence that no one in the outside world knew. And I want to share it with you because I'm not the only one going through it. I'm not the only one that could be propelled into it because of the detoxes and cleanses and teas and all these things out here that promise you this instantaneous weight loss, but it never tells you how to sustain the weight loss that you've got. It never tells you how to feed your body well and to make yourself healthy and to get back the nutrition that you need. Everybody's so focused on weight loss, but you don't understand how important it is to do it in a slow and sustainable way. That is why I'm sharing all of this with you all. Not only because it's on my heart and this is a story for me to release to you, but this stuff is real. This is dangerous. When we're out here doing all these cleanses and all of these things and detoxes, trying to get to this number on the scale, you have to remember your mental, your physical, and your emotional health state. It's not about what jeans you can fit into, and it's not about the number on the scale at the end of the day. So that's my 2 cents. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this because I've lived it. And next week, we're going to be talking about the seriousness and the dangers and my experience with binge eating disorder. I'll see you next week. Thanks for chatting with me, friend.